I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. Forge BVI is embarking on a number of activities for the fall holidays, of course, which are closing out 2023, many of which are going to impact the business community in the British Virgin Islands. Today, I'm joined by Community Outreach organizer, Mr. Kyle Rickets, alongside CEO, Mr. Meade Malone, to speak about these two very important initiatives. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
At Hire BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Hire BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 Media out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant, and as promised, I'm joined by CEO of Forge BVI, Mr. Meade Malone, alongside Kyle Rickets, the Community Outreach Coordinator. Gentlemen, thank you for your time and welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
We are closing out 2023. It's
Yes.
approaching the holiday season. We haven't got to the holiday season yet, but we're in our fall season, approaching that, and Forge BVI is embarking on two very important initiatives. Of course, the Holiday Expo, but before we get to that, we're going to do the Builders Expo.
Builders Expo.
Before we get into these initiatives, which ultimately will benefit the entire Virgin Islands, but particularly our business community, Mr. Malone, as CEO, how important is it for you and your team at Forge to host these very high-level community events?
I think they're very important because a major drive for Forge is to really reach into the community, the business community, and give them the tools and the platform for them to be successful. So one of the tools and the platforms to be successful is these expos. Mm-hmm. What they do is they help businesses be able to introduce themselves to the general public, to one another in terms of forming partnerships and doing collaboration, and really to the general public so that they know what's available here in the BVI in terms of products and services.
Understood. And Kyle, when you observe the community and a lot of the needs and concerns, the business community itself, as we all know, has struggled quite a bit. We had the hurricanes of 2017 coming down to COVID. Mm-hmm. So it almost seems as every time business community members get a certain way, we kind of get a setback. But what were some of your concerns as you speak to business owners? What are some of the challenges presently?
So the challenges that I see that business owners are facing will be that of the lack of resources and the lack of funding. As you stated, coming out of the two Category 5 hurricanes, COVID-19 have set a lot of business owners and potential business startups back. Yes. And it set them back tremendously. So now they're still trying to find their way forward and how that they could restructure and rebuild their brand and their businesses. Understood.
And I want to touch again, Mr. Malone, you mentioned about supporting. What are some of these services for those who may not be aware? What are some of these services offered at Forge BVI?
Yes, I think one of the things, Kyle mentioned about resources. And one of the things that businesses may not consider is that resources is more than money. Sometimes your biggest resource is your Rolodex. Where you can, and your contacts and the people that you meet. And so one of the things that we offer is the ability for people to network and to meet each other and really develop that resource base that's available to them. So that's really important. And then once they get on board and become members of Forge, we offer a number of different services, what we call toolbox services. So marketing, accounting, basically helping them to do strategic planning for their business. We have a number of seminars that we would put them through. So those are just some of the services that we do. But I think one of the key things from Forge is really getting out there, getting in the community that is entrepreneurs, and really feeding off the resources that are available to you just from that connection and being on that platform.
And up next, we have the Builders Expo BVI Achieving the Dream. Tell us about this initiative and this exposition.
Yes. Well, one of the things we try to do is to put a lot in a day. So the day is divided into two parts. In the morning, we are inviting business owners in the construction industry and related industries to come together. Why? We want them to get to know each other, get to know what products and services they offer, and see where joint ventures or collaboration can actually happen. In today's community, to deliver excellence, one of the things that you have to consider is that you don't have all of that in one place.
Okay.
And how can you collaborate and partner so you can deliver excellence? Particularly here in the BVI, where sometimes you have competitive tenders and they're looking for people on the outside. But maybe if local businesses can get together, they can stand a better chance of winning those and being productive in those tenders. We have a number of speakers to speak to that. One of the key speakers is Brendan, who is the construction manager out of Oil Nut Bay.
Okay.
And he's going to really speak to what is Oil Nut Bay looking for, and the value and benefit of collaborating and coming to the table to be able to deliver the quality that Oil Nut Bay requires to meet the expectation of their customer and the persons who they're building for. So, and then we go from that spectrum to people like Jordan from Noble Inc.,
Okay.
which is going to really talk to you about social media and the things that you need to consider to stand out in the crowd and to get the message out. So as a whole variety. Smith's Gore is going to talk about the research that they've done in the real estate space and give the participants some insight into what's been going on in the real estate market and how they can then take that insight and plan in terms of what a backlog might look like, where the industry is buying or selling, and then planning their businesses around that information.
Understood. This is not the first business Builders Expo, is it?
This is the second Builders Expo. The
Okay.
last one was a tremendous success.
And I was just going to ask, what made you and your team want to focus on this particular industry in the construction industry?
Well, I think because it's not an industry that's paid a lot of attention to.
Okay.
We have financial services industry, we have the tourism sector, but the construction sector is a major economic driver in the British Virgin Islands. So we wanted to pay attention to that sector and see what we can do to stimulate it that helps everyone in the community. So that's one of the reasons why we decided to focus on it. It was an industry that's important to the BVI economy, but there was not a lot of particular focus on it.
Understood.
Yes.
And Kyle, Mr. Malone spoke about some of the speakers, but this event is going to be hosted by the Honorable Kai Reimer. Tell us about the selection as well as some of our panel and exhibitors who are going to be including.
So the panelists that we're gonna have, we have persons such as Mr. Dion Crabb, who is the managing director of Outland Construction. We have Mr. Steve Augustine, who is the principal of Steve Augustine Architect.
Okay.
And we have many other persons who will be on the panelists, who also might add that we have Mr. Gregory Adams for Chief Town and
Country
Correct.
planners.
Country Planning,
Mhm.
who will be there as well too to give insights of what to come within the government spectrum. And we also have the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Communication and Works as well too,
Understood.
who will also be a panelist.
Well, I want to commend you guys on the selection because, like you mentioned, Mr. Malone, the construction industry is one that really takes up a lot of space, but is not
Yes.
given that equal respect and attention that it deserves. It not only serves as employment for our local companies. When you talk about procurement, and you
Yes.
talk about really local contractors and companies securing some of our bigger projects across the territory, some of the names that you just mentioned are by far right up there. But in order for us to really do the work and to see it in our community, we have to source persons.
Right.
And we don't always have locals taking up those roles. So I'm happy to see that we are paying attention to this space.
Yeah.
Additionally, Kyle, can we talk about registration and how persons can be a part of it? I know we have some entertainment, but is this particular Builders Expo, is there a cost associated with it?
So for the workshops, No, it is totally complimentary. We're inviting all, so there will be 2 sessions on that day. The morning session is where we will have the workshop for the construction industry.
Okay.
And then the afternoon session will be for the general public, where we're inviting the general public to come out and hear from the banks and the insurance companies, the realtors, to hear what they can do in order to either fund or help them build their dream, make their dream come to reality in terms of getting their new home or property or whatever it may be.
Wonderful. I'm so happy that you mentioned the stakeholders. We have REMAX, Social Security Board, Smith Score, First Bank, Banco Popular, and Republic Bank. One of the things that comes up a lot in persons wanting to not only invest but to do any kind of construction is the inability to understand the processes and procedures of lending and what that entails. So I'm happy to hear that our banking industry is on there. Viewers, of course, we have other contributors like the Nottingham Construction, Caribbean Basin, the Tool Shed, Smith Score, again, First Bank, and many others who are contributing to this initiative. I want to talk about the Forge member, what they received for signing up, or what they will receive, rather, for being a part of the Builders Expo, those who are actually Forge members.
So Forge members, when you become a Forge member, you would get a free 1 month free membership to Forge itself, the organization, the community, where we have different activities such as workshops, and we have workshops, we have networking events. I'm sorry, networking events and so forth. So members will have that first-hand opportunity to be a part of these events.
Excellent. And you have some local entertainment. Tell us about your selection there.
Yes, we have the razor blades. Speaking about it, when Mr. Malone came to me, he was like, "Kylie, I want to do something different this year. I want to bring it alive. I want to bring the excitement to it." I said, "Well, we have to bring a live band." So I said, "Who can I find that will draw that crowd?" And I said the Razor Blades, because those guys are phenomenal.
And the perfect selection.
They are, definitely are.
So you viewers, you get a taste of Virgin Islands culture as well through music by signing up for the Builders Expo. And then, gentlemen, of course, as the holiday season approaches, we have Forge BVI Holiday, which is a very exciting event. And the reason I think it's exciting is because the holidays are approaching. We are so accustomed, I think, here in the BVI to take vacation, and when our birthdays come along, we don't want to work on our birthdays. But it doesn't stop business, Mr. Malone. Business continues. So tell us about the Holiday Expo.
Well, I think the Holiday Expo we're doing it for the first time this year. We tried last year, it didn't come off in time. But the Holiday Expo, what it does, like the Builders Expo, it brings together the business community that's in the business of gift giving, holiday entertaining and decorating, and put them under one roof.
Okay.
And then what we want to do in the morning is invite companies that buy gifts or provide entertainment for their clients or for their staff to come and really see what's available in terms of all the elements of entertaining and gift giving. We have some wonderful participants, people like House and many others who are going to be there. It's going to be decorated. People would remember that Elton Leonard used to decorate the town.
Yes.
And so he's going to be with us in decorating Forge.
Excellent.
In a very holiday theme. So we think it's going to be an exciting environment. And House is also going to help in decorating. So I think it's going to be an exciting environment. And for people to come and we have Dr. Arlene Penn is going to be playing steel band in the background.
Lovely.
And then Caribbean Cellars is going to have a wine expert on site so that you can help you in selecting your holiday wine, ideas and so all of that's going to be available, and we're really excited about it.
Wonderful. This is, of course, going to be held on Saturday the 7th. registration, Saturday, 7th of October. And of course, you get an opportunity to be a part of this. There's a workshop, a buyer's cocktail, expo, and entertainment. Kyle, tell us about registration and the cost.
So registration for that, there's a premium and standard course. Cost. The premium, it will be $350, and that puts you in on the inside of the hall,
Okay.
the conference center, and then the standard, it is $275, and that puts you along the hallways, which it doesn't mean because your premium and standard means you'll be isolated. Traffic will be flowing in and out throughout the whole conference center down at Forge Parker Pond. So, and it's a great way how we could, being there with the experience of what is to come on that day. I'm a person that when I do stuff, I vision as if I'm already there. And I was speaking with someone, and I was a potential exhibitor who was then a potential exhibitor, but after I explained to her of what I vision, of how I feel it's going to be, she ended up saying, sign me up, Kyle. I want to be there.
Amazing.
So giving her the glimpse of what we expect it to be, she automatically signed up and will be there, will be present.
Yeah. And of course, I want to mention, viewers, that this Holiday Expo by Forge BVI is going to be hosted by the Deputy Premier of the Virgin Islands, the Honorable Lorna Smith. There is going to be a fashion showcase. Of course, I love it because we have a number of local brands. We have Treffle, Bayrock, of course, and Mini-Me, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I messed it up, I apologize. But giving an opportunity for the local designers to present their product. Tell us about that selection, Kyle, and their involvement.
So with the selection of the local entrepreneurs, we want to give them that chance to shine. As I said earlier, Forge is about networking and collaboration. So with giving them the opportunity to showcase their brand, it gives them that leeway to find their foot back into the business sector, but basically, as I said earlier, I feel that it's gonna be an awesome event, especially with the young entrepreneurs that we have on board, and the fashion show, and the
Shooting star.
the
Shooting star.
Yes.
In the afternoon,
We have them in the afternoon, and we also with the steel pan by Dr. Arlene Penn. It'll be fantastic.
I am absolutely looking forward to that. I'm not a builder. I could definitely stop by the Builders Expo, but I definitely think I'd love to participate in the Holiday Expo. One of the words that I've been hearing throughout this interview is the aspect of networking and collaboration. Mr. Malone, I want to close there and ask you to really solidify the importance for the viewing audience, business community who's working. A lot of the issues that we are facing as a business community, we sometimes feel like they're isolated and, oh, it's just me, I'm the only one having trouble finding financing or getting people to buy my goods and services. But the incidents and issues that we're facing are not isolated. Many times, if you look around or if you open your mouth and have a conversation with other business owners, it's exactly the same. Tell us about the importance of networking.
Well, I think I could never forget I was with the Bishop T.D. Jakes when he visited the BVI, and we were on our way back down to St. Thomas together, and he reminded me that my biggest resource, my most important resource is my relationships. If you have relationships, oftentimes it out-trumps money. And having the right relationships and knowing how to harness it. Sometimes relationships just come naturally. You just need to step into the room, and whoever is a part of your tribe will make their way to you. And so it's about learning how to stand up in the crowd, how to showcase what you're bringing to the marketplace, and then seeing how you can collaborate. All of that happens in the networking. And beyond that, what we do is when someone comes on board as a member of Forge, we do a business diagnostic for them, just to understand where they are and just very key things. And then we set about, a program of how we bring that business so that their fundamentals are right and strong, their foundation, so that they can go on and grow. So it's really exciting. We see it as a relaunch of Forge this year to really get the word out. I tell Kyle that when they come on that, there will be a brochure of Forge in terms of all that we do. People who register to be exhibitors will get an opportunity to stand on stage and to speak into the audience about what it is they do and just introduce themselves. So we think it's a fantastic opportunity for the exhibitors, and we think it's a fantastic opportunity for those who participate in the workshops, and we think it's a fantastic opportunity for the general public in terms of what they can come and see what's going on in the BVI under one roof.
Absolutely.
And so we're really excited about it.
Well, I could not agree with you more. And gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and speaking, of course, on the Builders Expo, Achieving the Dream, open to, of course, all stakeholders within the construction-related field. And then coming down to the holidays, we have the Forge BVI Holiday Expo. Of course, all of these events are jam-packed with entertainment, very engaging, a number of panel discussion and exhibitors included, and vendors to make sure that you are well prepared. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. But before you go, I have to ask you, Kyle, for persons who want to get in contact with Forge, who want to sign up, become members, or perhaps have a consultation with you guys, how can they get in contact with you?
So they can get in contact with us you can call our office at 441-2120, or you could find us on Facebook at Forge BVI. You can shoot us a message there, and our website is also on the page as well too.
Wonderful. The gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you at the events.
If I can,
Sure.
one more.
Absolutely.
I would like to say a special thank you to all of our exhibitors.
Awesome.
I'd like to say a special thank you to our panelists and those who are involved in sharing information. I'd like to say a special thank you to our entertainment, people who are going to come. And I'd like to say a very special thank you to the Honorable Deputy Premier, Mrs. Lorna Smith, and the Minister for Communications and Work, the Honorable Kai Reimer. They didn't have to do it, but they've come on board to host these events, and we are very thankful for their participation.
Wonderful. Viewers, that is all the time we have. I'm Ron Brandt. Do have a beautiful rest of the day. A happy Monday to each and every one of you. Goodbye.